the concept of weeds in a lawn actually stems from a cultural context of rich people wanting to show off their riches when they had mansions back in the Victorian era. And how does that even equate? Well, you build this home and there's a bunch of beautiful forest around, right? And you would think that'd be enough. However, rich people as they are, with their egos and sense of validation seeking through external sources, they felt the need to clear that out and plant grass lawns so that people may look at their riches from afar, but never actually be close to them. That became the cultural norm because we've all been brainwashed to want to be like the rich people or the elites. However, if you're paying attention to my videos, you would learn in our semiotics video that weeds are just a symbol of elitism. And what I mean by that is a symbol is just an idea that's been given a word to represent a cultural context. So in the cultural context of being elitist in a Victorian era setting made you think that any plant that was grown and obstructed the view of your riches was considered a weed. However, when you take that out of the context and you look at your environment around you and you see plants that just grow without any sort of help whatsoever, that's something to pay attention to and learn. And you're getting told that a lot of those things are bad for you without any real evidence. It's usually just creative rhetoric. So that is one thing to be mindful of. On top of that, you can look into practices such as permaculture, which stems from the idea of creating an environment that sustains itself. And the best example I can think of, to keep it on the surface level, because of course if you want more information, let me know. I'll do the diving, I'll do the digging, we'll figure it out. One thing you can look into is the Three Sisters method, right? Where the idea is you're able to plant corn, beans, and squash next to each other in such a manner that the nutrients from each one of the plants gives to the other ones what it's lacking and actually helps them maintain their structural integrity, which further improves their chances of yielding more food. Free food, might I add. Or even look into the practices of everyday city planning, where this is another fun fact, where most city planners, when they plant fruit trees, it's a male tree, meaning that it will not produce any fruit. Why? Because free food is bad for business. All of that is to say, these are just a couple surface level ways that you can incorporate indigenous practices in your life. That being said, let's move on to the fourth